The problems with having fines only on firms is that it's the individuals within the firms that make the decision to form a cartel. So you're punishing shareholders and the firm as a whole for what quite often is the actions of just a small minority of employees. There are exceptions. There are cases where cartels are approved and promoted throughout the firm, but increasingly, as firms are accepting that cartels are bad, it's just rogue employees. So because of the gap in time from when a cartel is detected and when fines are imposed, which sometimes can be 4 or 5 years, by the time the fine is imposed, the individuals may not still work for the firm, they may have moved on. So one of the things I was arguing at this conference is that having sanctions against individuals, such as the threat of imprisonment, is actually going to go a lot further in deterring these kinds of actions than just imposing fines on firms. Some member states, such as the UK, Ireland, France, actually have a statute, a criminal code, which concerns price fixing and other cartel behaviour. Other member states, such as Sweden, Germany, Belgium, have specifically decided not to criminalise. On the European level, the European Commission can only impose fines and undertakings. It would require careful legislative change for them to be able to impose any kind of criminal sanction on individuals. And this creates a lot of problems. At the moment, the European Commission is only interested in fines on firms. It's made it very clear that it doesn't want to explore sanctions against individuals. But I would argue that really it should use the European competition network to create mechanisms whereby individual sanctions on the national level, such as the criminal offence, can complement cartel enforcement on the community level. Now, the difficulty is, of course, that the UK and Ireland risk becoming the de facto criminal prosecutors in that case, and that obviously is unsatisfactory for all sorts of reasons. But worldwide, more and more jurisdictions are adopting criminal offences against cartels, and I think the European Union risks being left behind. And more fundamentally, there's something really wrong with there being more chance of being imprisoned for price fixing of, say, heating oil in Galway in the west of Ireland, or for bid rigging in Hamburg in Germany, but not for an international cartel which affects more than one member state. Those are the most serious infringements, and they're the ones that should attract the most serious penalties. I think very encouraging, and certainly something that confirms a lot of the research we do at the University of East Anglia. Everybody seems to agree that sanctions against individuals are a good idea. In this audience we've had academics who've agreed, we've had former prosecutors who've agreed, and fundamentally we've had competition lawyers who represent the firms who've said that actually if I go to employees and say this could send you to jail unless you listen to me, that's hugely helpful to their compliance training efforts. Discussion with competition authorities, with academics, is hugely helpful in thinking about how we can move forward. At the moment I don't see any signs of a discussion of how individual sanctions can be used to complement EU cartel enforcement, and I find that very troubling.